Oh, winter is coming. Iceland, or as they call it there, Iceland. Oh, we adore, we revere you. We are the men in blazers. This is the Euro 2000 Copa show. Send us your questions, your comments, your nipple-tingling feedback on that island triumph. It was actually a draw. A triumph.
It's a triumph.
Oh, it's a triumph. It was the greatest triumph since they drove away the Giants from the island in 684. Ballads will be written about this game. You will have noticed big tactical change. Devo, like Lionel Messi, out with injury. We've spent a lot of money in the transfer market. We've dabbled. We've invested heavily. We brought in a Manchester United fan. We brought in an England true believer. We brought in Juan Mata's stunt double. the pride of Stockport. We got Dominic Monaghan.
Just a little bit more hair, a little younger.
Oh.
But, same ideas about football.
You're both beautiful, man. Can I tell you?
It's all about passion.
You're putting us to shame. You are so dapper today.
Oh, come on, really?
Yeah.
I went out in New York and I said, can I get something that's going to compare to the Men in Blazers? And
Yeah.
they said, how about this?
They could have given you some old kind of like horse cloth, to be honest. I'm covered. Look at me.
What's that? Is that chicken wings?
It's buffalo wings.
Oh, it's a shame.
I thought your Fabrics America were resistant to buffalo wings. Inventors, will you get on it? It would help me a huge amount. Welcome, Dominic.
I feel welcome.
Few human beings in this world have got a worse case of Copa Euro fever. That 1-2 punch, stuffy nose, heady fever. Euros, Copa, you've got it real bad.
I'm feeling it. We were just saying earlier on, I hate a summer that doesn't include football, and obviously this summer includes 2 massive footballing competitions. I have to say, I probably lean a little closer to the Euros, simply because I'm an England fan, and all those countries I know a little bit more.
Poor guy.
The Copa America, you've got Messi, you've got the USA team. I live in America, so I'm gunning for them.
Birnbaum, Jewish Messi, day 12 of Copa, day 5 of the Euros. You've told us which you're enjoying more, but yet it should be said, this gentleman, to be candid, has been watching almost every game.
Almost every game. Certainly every game of the Euros, almost every game of the Copa. And I keep saying to one of my best friends in America, I keep saying it's brilliant that USA are playing well. Don't get your hopes up. Meanwhile, they keep smashing teams. They've smashed Costa Rica. They're playing really well. Obviously now, with Brazil not being in it, they have a chance to play against Peru. And I think the USA can beat Peru, so they could really go
or even
quite far.
Ecuador. We love it. We love them both. I've got to say, fascinating choice to lead towards the Euros. This Euros is ever more apocalyptic. It is a tough choice. Which tournament do you prefer, America? Do you prefer a tournament where there's hardly anyone in the stands when the players play and the players can't? It's not really true that all of them are trying as hard as they can. Or do you, on a day when Russia will be disqualified from Euro 2016 if they create further crowd trouble?
It's going to happen.
And they have today already, attacking the England fans in the middle of France. I'm not sure which is easier for tournament organisers. No fans at games, the Copa, or loads of fans up for a fight and everyone striking the Euros. It really is a footballing Sophie's choice. The big news out of the Euros today, we're going to break down the Iceland game in a second. We're going to talk about majestic Hungary. We're going to talk about all of these things. But the big news you want to talk about, America, involves this guy and that guy. You can pop him up too. One for you. He's actually got
with his hands down.
He's got his hands down his pants. Well done, Zips and JW. You've excelled in this one. You found a photo. It's actually hard. I will say it's harder to find a photo of Yogi Löw without his hands down his pants than the one I have here, where he actually looks relatively normal. Today we saw a press conference where Lukas Podolski, a leading German cultural figure, in a football press conference was asked the question, why do you think Yogi Löw keeps putting his hands down his pants and then sniffing his fingers? Well done, journalist.
Yeah.
For asking his employer. And he answered it. And I love his answer. He said, it's nothing special. I think 80% of you and me have scratched our balls at some point. That is hot takes.
Not when you know you're on TV, though. I would counter with that. Do you know what I mean? He knows he's on television.
Dom thinks he's doing it on purpose.
I think he actually is doing it on purpose.
I think people...
I was born in Germany, and the German people are known for having a very dignified way about them, the way that they conduct themselves. And that just, I mean, he is always on TV when he's in front of those cameras. I just don't understand.
Let's just say, you're a highly evolved German, Yogi Löw. And
sorry to interject, but that's not that sophisticated. Do you know what I mean? Like, he goes down, and then... Yeah. That's not that sophisticated. You could do that. Yeah. You could do that and then go there. But to go straight from A to B.
You should be tactically.
Right.
Just tactically. You should be lining it up. You should be Up, down,
Right.
and then you think it's crude because
I
he
think
just goes
crude.
right for it.
Yeah,
just
I don't
to go
respect
right for
the
the
move,
jugular.
you know.
Yogi Löw, you've got a life coach right
I
here.
could teach you a few
That's
moves.
all I can tell you.
Oh, man.
We've got to get into it because to me, Yogi Löw is actually my personal hygiene hero.
Yeah.
But we've got to celebrate. We've got to celebrate a day of the underdogs.
What a
I don't know
game.
how they say that in France. A day of the underdogs. Hungary. And also my own beloved Iceland, my adopted nation, my soul, the place of my calling, an island of 80,000 puffins, 80 volcanoes, 325,000 people. It's as big as Corpus Christi, Texas.
You're all over them, aren't you?
I am all over them. I've got a film coming out of them about them on Friday, I think, on Vice Sports. So a lot of it's selfish, but much of it is I just love the people. I loved everyone I met. We're going to celebrate.
Can we just talk about the size of mine in comparison to yours? There's someone backstage trying to get me drunk.
We're great Zips. He's
What-
got a
what are
heavy
we-
hand.
what are we drinking,
We're
do you know?
drinking port. The
Oh,
finest
port, of
Vino
course,
de Porto
Portugal.
from Lisbon to celebrate. It's like the skull of your defeated enemy. It was a draw, so we don't have a defeated enemy. We don't have a skull.
Mine's all gone. You had a
got a
sip.
minute.
Mine's all gone.
Well, I've got a whole bottle here, mate. The Men in Blazers,
I
they
don't like
do their own
port.
port.
It's too sweet.
Well,
You put, oh,
I've got to tell you,
try
what
to get me drunk, right?
Did you tell yourself that was a port milkshake or something? That's amazing.
Well, from Manchester, that's how we do it in Manchester, isn't it?
Stockport, technically. So we're
There was some crunching tackles in that Austria-Hungary game.
Yeah.
There was at least 2, if not 3, rolled ankles, and every time I watched it, I thought that guy's off. He's done for the rest of the competition.
He'd
But he
heal
actually got
himself.
through it.
We will break that game down in 1 second, but we're going to go right now to what we've just witnessed at the Stade Geoffroy Guichard in Saint Etienne. The Icelandic football miracle, a story. I'll be candid, I'll show you my colours, because I'm normally objective America. I normally am about all subjects, but I love this Icelandic story. Population 325. I said Corpus Christi, Texas. I'm going to give you Honolulu, Hawaii. That is their
Live there.
footballing body. They have enough. Yeah, of course you have.
Yeah.
Of course you have.
Yeah.
Season 1 was amazing.
It was. Then it
Season
went,
2 didn't have enough of you in it.
I think, to be fair, it all went downhill after season 3 when I left. You know what we're talking about?
Yeah, I do. We're talking about Dom's Wild
Things.
Dom's Wild Things.
Yeah.
Yes, season 3. Are we in season 3 of that yet?
We are. We're in season 3. We're
it
moving
is.
into season 4 now.
Yeah, better
But
than
anyway,
Lost.
we're digressing.
We are. We're getting there.
We're digesting.
Iceland. 325,000 people. They have 20,000 registered footballers. Rhode Island actually has more. Yet what they did 20 years ago, and this is what fascinates
Love this
me,
story.
They said, we're going to be good at football. And this is crazy because they had 8 months of winter, windswept. The island was unplayable. They played on gravel. The kids they could only play for 4 months a year. They prided themselves on having the longest pre-season in football. It's amazing to me because I said to everyone, you're first in peace, world peace. You're first in so many things. You have more puffins
Ice.
per square acre. They don't have as much ice as you think.
Rocks.
For that,
Geothermal energy.
Thank you. Great water. They have they've won
Drinking.
more Miss Universes. You've got many firsts. I was
Yeah.
like, why do you want to be good at football? And they looked at me and they said, we don't have an army. It's the only way we can invade foreign nations is through football. And they sat back 20 years
tactics.
ago and they said, we're going to build elite football fields over the area, which is as large as Kentucky. They built 150 heated fields, 7 of them full-size AstroTurf sports houses, open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They invested in 600 elite UEFA A and B coaches. By point of comparison, England has 1 for every 11,000 inhabitants. Iceland has 1 for every 500. They essentially hothouse the island to produce elite footballers.
Now, I'm going to
This is their
interject. When
golden
you
generation.
say they, are you talking about the government of Iceland, or
Yeah.
is this privately
I mean,
funded? It's the government.
it was a football association, but the
their
investment
FA.
came from. I mean, Iceland was in this crazy boom, economic boom. I think it was definitely a product of that, but it's all publicly funded, all driven by the desire to get their kids playing athletics and
Brilliant.
really excelling. I went to watch 200 4-year-olds it was like unbelievable drills by 25 UEFA A licensed coaches, and you saw that they are taking foundational football skills very seriously in a way I dream about this country doing one day. They took the field today. They've never played a major tournament before. They're the smallest nation to ever play a major tournament. And when they took
Good
the
for them.
field against Ronaldo, the preening show pony, and Portugal, you turned around to me and you said the different level of expectation on these two teams' shoulders was shocking.
Yeah, absolutely fearless the way they played, and you've got to give them credit for that. I know you had said earlier on, obviously it was a draw, but it is a win for Iceland in that way. I think when a team comes in without any expectation. The idea is you've qualified, you've already won for the country of Iceland, you've already won for us, you've done everything that we wanted. The fact that you're there means we can party, we can celebrate.
10% of the nation are in France. It's like 33 million Americans going to the Azteca to watch America play.
So it's like, go, express yourself, have fun, and that is a completely different ethos from what is going on in Portugal, which is for Ronaldo, for Cristiano Ronaldo, Manchester United legend, who I adore. They're saying, if you want to prove you're the best player in the world, if you want to prove that you can, get off the shoulders of Messi, you have to win a major competition. That's either this Euros or the next World Cup, or he's arguably too old at that point.
What was amazing about him when he took the field, producer Lexi turned to me and said his pre-tournament regimen has just been getting a full body waxing. He just kind of gleamed as he took the field. And the Iceland, they by the way, they believe they are Vikings. Mentally, they believe they are Vikings. They took the field. Gylfi Sigurdsson, the Swansea.
Gylfi, I love that name. I'm going to call my first child Gylfi.
It's actually
Isn't that a beautiful name?
It is a gorgeous name. He's a gorgeous man, a sweet, soft man. Like the Icelandic Tiger Woods, he was bred from a young age to be an elite footballer. And he said, it's fascinating. I said, how did you beat the Netherlands twice in qualifying? Like, when you kicked off, did you believe you were going to win? He said, we knew we were going to win. I said, how did you know you were going to win? He said, Icelanders, we're all delusional. We think we're going to win everything.
That's beautiful. They could teach England a little bit, couldn't they?
A little bit.
I mean,
how much could they teach
Well,
England?
we know as being English fans, and I'm sure the English players feel it as well, what it is there's so much pressure in this idea that, like, you have to achieve, you have to win it. Not go out and express yourself, go out and have fun. It's this idea of, like, you have a great team on paper, you invented the sport, for goodness sake, go out and win it. And it's completely unfair, the pressure that's put on that team,
And for the Icelanders, they are a collective. They have this incredible fierce determination. They have this concept of duglador, which is just always trying harder.
Character in Harry Potter.
Always working harder. I'll take your word for it. And you saw it from the beginning. Gylfi with the best early chance, and then Portugal started to find space down those flanks, both Ronaldo and Nani taking in turns to set each other up.
Yeah, I thought Nani played very well tonight. Nani, again, another Manchester United slight reject. I thought he played very well tonight.
I mean, both men played like a player for the first time, because Ronaldo was terrible at the World Cup, terrible at the Euros before that. It's amazing what happens when your agent's like, maybe a move.
Yeah.
Maybe a move would be in self-interest. They were both possessed.
Yeah, they did play very well. And I thought, like, round about the 30th, 35th minute, I thought that the class of Portugal was just starting to kind of shine through. But then what you've got with Iceland is we've already won it. We don't need to prove anything. We're gonna continue to play the way that we've always played. They went into the second half. They must have come out with a bit of a talking to from their manager, saying, guys, we're here. We've achieved everything they wanted to achieve.
Because they'd let in a goal. Haldursson, their goalkeeper, who is also a part-time video director.
Who is also, wearing the most fantastic goalkeeping kit at the Euros. He looks like he's wearing an All Blacks kit. I want that kit. Looks fantastic.
I'm going to get you that kit. Unfortunate goal, long coming.
Yeah.
I mean, it felt like, it was a Virina cross, Nani finding an acre of space between the centre-backs. Nani, possibly one of the great, skill-blessed, underperforming players of our generation.
Yeah, very disappointing at Manchester United. I think he came and went at Manchester United. Had moments of brilliance, had moments of doing nothing, and Fergie eventually was like, you've gone. But that first touch from Nani to score the goal.
At Yinka Double Dare tweeted us and said, Iceland now need what they call in Iceland as a comebacker son. And they got one out of nowhere. Birkir Bjarnason. Those of you who support the Swiss club FC Basel know his work well. At Vitz35 tweeted us to say the last time Iceland scored a goal at a major tournament was at the 1994 Junior Goodwill Games against the USA Mighty Ducks.
Not an easy goal, that. From the cross on the volley. Came off his shin.
It did come off his shin.
A little lucky.
Yeah. But he knew.
Excuse me. But you have to be there to score it.
As he tore away with his beautiful head of hair, that was a man who knew he was never going to have to buy puffin steak or reindeer in an Icelandic eatery again.
And could he look more Icelandic? Long, blonde hair, slightly muscular, very sexy.
You know what? He looked like how I see myself.
I think he actually did look a little bit like you.
Yeah, we're very
put a wig on you, put a mop on you.
Like your Juan Mata's body double. He and I are, I think, soul brothers. I love the shot to the co-manager. There's Lars Lagerbäck, the Swedish experienced manager, took Nigeria to the World Cup. One of the managers going to depart after the Euros. But Heimir, the other, the Icelander, lives on an island still, where I said to him, "You have 1 million puffins on your island." He got angry at me in the interview. He goes, "We have 8 million puffins." He is a part-time dentist, still a part-time dentist. And I said, "How the hell are you an elite manager and a dentist?" And he just goes, "Other managers play golf. Other managers shoot reindeers. I do root canals." And I was like, which managers shoot reindeers?
Yeah, I get the golf thing.
Which managers like to get rid of stress? Do you think Mourinho's like, "Damn you, John Terry"? Boom.
But to be fair, in terms of what Iceland just did,
Yeah.
in that group, we were just talking about this before the show started, because of the slightly swollen amount of teams in the competition this year.
There's a lot of girth.
They get a draw. Now, if they get another draw,
They
they're
are
through?
pretty well through.
It's
because of
totally
the
different
third
from what
place,
the Euros
it's
needed
unbelievable. And this team will get it. I mean, they think
Who've
they
they
are.
got? Who's in that group with
Hungary.
Ronaldo? Okay, so they'll get
They
something against
think
Hungary.
they're Vikings. I mean, their mentality.
Vikings.
They do. They say, Viking,
am
we are
Viking.
Viking.
I am Viking.
Listen, Iceland, life was so brutal, just surviving. That Jaime told me he was in Rome recently and they showed him, they said, "This is a house, a little hut that we used to live in 2,000 years ago." He said the hut looked like the place his great-grandmother lived in Iceland. He said just surviving in Iceland was so difficult that we have this tough, incredible mentality that fills us with belief. And when I heard it, I thought, what you said, England, do we have belief? America, when we
different,
take on Mexico, do we really think we're going to crush them? These guys do. Portugal, fascinating, great in the first half, but when in panic, fight or flight, they just kept feeding Ronnie.
Yeah.
Ronaldo over and over again.
All routes to Ronaldo. Although I will say, I know you spent some time in Iceland. You have a great time
I keep
there.
talking about it.
Well,
I'm
yeah,
like,
you were talking about it
yeah.
before the show started.
Gonna move that.
And you said, it's a brutal lifestyle and stuff, and you started to break it down for me. And you said,
I love
zero sunlight for the longest amount of time. And all they can do for the longest amount of time is drink alcohol and copulate. And I thought, it doesn't sound that bad, to be fair.
It's like coming on this show.
There's elements, there's swings and roundabouts. Do you know what I mean? There's the good and the bad.
That was a plea for some more port if I've ever heard.
We were just watching this Portugal-Iceland game, and I'm an Englishman. You're an Englishman, Rog. But I don't think I've ever seen a Englishman support a non-English team in the same way. He actually said before the game started, he said, "I'm more nervous about this than I was about the last England game."
I
which for me
by
was
the way,
hard to
other
understand.
than the US, I have not felt like this. Everton, when they score a goal, I know darkness is always about to
It's
ensue.
always coming with Everton.
I was crying for Iceland. The end
for
of the
you,
game
man.
was like Tom and Jerry recreated as a football game. Jerry trying to counter or hope that an anvil somehow falls upon Tom. I cannot tell you how happy the island of Iceland is going to be tonight. They can't believe it. Winter is coming for them. Tormund Giants game is going to be there. Sigur Rós are going to be there.
Love Sigur
F
Rós.
the Panama Papers.
You should buy a little
Fantastic
cabin
night.
there. Buy a little cabin.
You know what?
Raise some puffins.
Some little puffins of my own. I've been speaking to Mrs. Bennett about going north of the wall and living with the wildlings.
Winter is coming. It's a
in
beautiful
Iceland.
place to
I would
be.
love it. I would love it. We will keep talking about our real estate deals in the course of this, but we've got to talk about Austria-Hungary. Austria 0, Hungary 2 at the Nouveau Stade Bordeaux in Bordeaux, France. Another amazing game, which many of you, as at T. Burno said, was the Franz Ferdinand derby. Oh, at Archbold 90, actual conversation in my house. Son, Austria-Hungary match tomorrow. Me, who are they playing? Which I love. This was actually the same result as the Austrian-Hungary war, only that lasted from 1477 to 1488. Hungary
Smashed him.
did it again.
And it was also the game of the underdog, wasn't it? I mean, Austria on paper have some great players.
Arnautovic.
Arnautovic.
Alaba.
Alaba. Brilliant.
Christian Fuchs, our friend.
Right, from Leicester.
GFOP.
And Alaba also looked like he was going to have that type of game where he's going to take the ball and just score whenever he wanted. Great
34
player.
seconds in.
Yeah. Young, full of positivity, Austria. They were very fast on the break. And then obviously they had the sending off. And as soon as they had the sending off, they're in real trouble. And Hungary took both the goals really well. And again, another underdog team that looked like they're going to get through the next round.
It was a masterclass of striking incompetence for Austria.
Yeah.
Arnautovic. I mean, they had all the
love
class.
Arnautovic.
They
Little
really did.
miniature Ibrahimovic.
Is.
In every way. His name's a little shorter.
Yeah.
His hair's a little shorter. He's got less tattoos. He's less muscular. He's a little mini Ibrahimovic. Oh, Ibrahimovic.
I've got to tell you, He does
coming to
show. He
Manchester
does
United
prove
next
that
season.
haircut does not look good on everybody.
True.
But it's been 30 years since Hungary, once one of football's great golden powers, have been at a major tournament.
They won a World Cup, didn't they?
Yeah, and their team.
Did they win the first World Cup?
No, they got into the final in like the 50s. They should have won. In the great, they had a great team in the 1950s. They were part of the golden period of wonderful football. And this team
Classic
was
football team.
organised and disciplined. I mean, they were terrible in qualifying. Northern Ireland won that group. I think Romania came second. They were held up as Exhibit A of how empty much of the talent was at this Euros and how they shocked that. I mean, Gabor Kiraly, 40 years of old, once a Crystal Palace legend, still wearing his polyester grey sweatpants.
I love those pants. I feel like he could maybe catch the ball in the trousers. Do you know what I mean? As it passes through, instead of getting nutmegged, he'll catch him in the trousers.
Just in the pocket.
Yeah. It's like a tactic for him. Is he the oldest player in the tournament?
Ever. In the history of the
Ever?
tournament. Yeah, but that's his fashion signifier. If you read the Wall Street Journal, often at the weekend they interview someone and about their likes and dislikes, what hand cream they use, what kind of shampoo, and they say, "What's your fashion signifier?" And when I started to read it, I was stressed because I didn't. And people are like, "I always wear the same. I wear a pink shirt every day, or I have 5,000 pairs of blue shoes." That is his fashion signifier.
Baggy
the
trousers.
grey polyester. It's his superstition. And I'd say it's also the fashion signifier of millions of suburban dads across the United States, this great country. He had a lights-out game. He has now entered the bald man's pantheon of sporting legends.
I wonder if he knows that song by Madness. Baggy trousers.
Boom, boom, boom. Was that a hit in America?
Oh, what an amazing song. It's all about being a school kid in England. Check it out.
It's
Madness, baggy
about,
trousers.
It's about great days in our life in the past. Great days for Adam Sajley. The Hanover player slid the ball home. Striker who had not scored in the last 41 games. A rose by any other name is still a rose. It will get worse for Austria. Dragovic, the second yellow. And then you loved that composed dink from Zoltan Striver.
Oh, well, he supposedly is being scouted by Arsenal or my team, Manchester United. And that is very classic. It's like a mini Poborski dink that he did over Schmeichel in the Euros. Was it the Euros or the World Cup years ago?
Probably both.
Let's say both.
Let's just say it was the kind of finish that Romelu Lukaku tried and failed the night before.
Yeah, whatever he did, Karel Poborski, which is Karel Poborski, scored an amazing looping chip stroke lob against Schmeichel, brought him to Manchester United. He was a bit of a failure. But your man for Hungary.
Amazing. Do you know like that?
Composed finish.
That man like that.
And what was it? Is he 19 years old, something like that?
He will be in the Premier League before we know it. A feather in the cap. Not just a big win for Hungary, a small win for people who believed in the notion of the expanded tournament. And a dark afternoon for GFOP, Christian Fuchs in Austria, shaping up to be like Belgium at World Cup 2014, Colombia in 1994. All of the hype. None of the performance. Last night, Belgium 0, Italy 2 in Lyon. Italy meant to be toothless. Belgium stopped like a Flemish trout farm. Fantastic performance by Italy, but Belgium, Lukaku impotent, Hazard invisible before his new coach. Conte, De Bruyne worse, and Mark Wilmot's war pig, my favourite manager, does not seem to know how to fuse the talents at his disposal to make a collective.
I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that on paper, Belgium are the best team in the Euros. Lukaku, De Bruyne, arguably the best player in the Premier League last season. Unfortunately, Vincent Kompany's not playing for them. He's injured. But they have some fantastic players. Hazard, come on. Where are you, Eden Hazard? An absolutely awful performance. And I have to say, Italy are a team that I have a really bad history with. They've beaten England at times where they've not been as good as they sometimes have been. They're a little spawny in major footballing competitions.
Define spawny.
Spawny, where you're not that good, but you get lucky. You know,
and by lucky we mean win them over and over again. It's jealousy speaking.
It is jealousy. They had Zidane sent off in the World Cup final. I would say that's the worst in my memory, the worst World Cup final winning team of all time. But to be fair to them, the other night they played fantastic football.
Got to say, if England, Iceland, or America won the World Cup in that way, I would love it.
True.
Long time.
The other night against Belgium, fast attacking football. I thought they were fantastic. They must now be on the same par as possibly France to get in and win the Euros.
Belgium split between the Walloons and the Flemish. Vincent Kompany, not just a miss on the field, but he speaks both languages, was the guy that fused kind of the different cultures on that team.
Just educate me about that for a second, because we talked about that. It's two very archetypal teams in Belgium that usually are on the same international
cultures.
team.
I mean, they always say about Belgium that it's two countries pretending to be one, and absolutely not. It's been a huge rift.
So you've got what, the Flemish side, and what's the other side?
They both speak like this, and I just know Vincent Kompany is the guy that heals all of them. I loved watching Conte with his nosebleed through the game, which made him look like the Bond villain he's going to be in the Premier League. He said after the game, you have an alchemy between players who enjoy being together. Everyone's pulling together, great spirit. That's what wins games. And it's true. We saw it Iceland, we saw it Hungary. This international game, two truths. Number one, Italy, never better than when they've been written off. Always deadly.
Yeah, scary.
Secondly, the teams that win now in the international game are the ones that have collective spirit, absolutely care, aren't looking for their individual contracts. Those are the ones that will dominate in the all-star game that is the world-class game of football. We've got England and Wales brewing on Thursday. We'll talk more about it tomorrow. I did love Jack Wilshere, and the difference between Jack Wilshere and Gareth Bale in their press conferences. Jack Wilshere said, they don't like us, and we don't like them. I'm not sure if Jack Wilshere is still a professional footballer or just a professional shit stirrer, but Gareth Bale, he just took the high road. He said, we know England have weaknesses, but we're not going to tell you what they are.
Well, the argument there is, you know, the classier thing. I think Gareth Bale's obviously a slightly classier player. Jack Wilshere, I mean, he plays for Arsenal, so I have my own issues with that, but I don't think we should necessarily have Jack Wilshere speak on behalf of the England team. Let Mike Smalling do that instead. You know, let Wayne Rooney do. Let Wayne Rooney
with his eyebrows of astonishment.
Wayne Rooney's eyebrows. What is going on there? He's been Beckham'd. I think that's what's happened. I think that Wayne Rooney's girlfriend Colleen has said, or his wife has said to him, "Look, the way to look sexy in this European Championships is to get Beckham'd. He's got these eyebrows. It constantly look like
he's permanently astonished.
Amazing eyebrows.
Someone, if you're watching Jack Wilshere, just tie some fabric across your mouth, put yourself in a little cupboard under the stairs and button it. Because when I heard how you spoke, it filled me with fear for Thursday. Quick Copa update. Mexico won. Venezuela won. Fantastic draw that was a win for Mexico. Lackadaisical lineup. Absolutely fantastic goals. Mexico struggled to assert themselves after Velasquez put the Vino Tinto ahead.
What a goal.
What a goal to equalise it.
What a goal from Corona. That has to be the goal of the tournament up to now. Messi-esque in the way that he took the ball, dancing through 3 or 4 players and had the composure to put it away.
Very hospitable Venezuelan back line.
It was, to be fair. You should have had a foot in at some point.
I love that Corona's nickname is Tecatito because he used to play for Monterrey, who are sponsored by Tecate. They didn't like that his surname was the name of a rival beer, so they changed it. I also love, I'm fully in love with neck tattoos. I've gone through the...
Gangster.
I've gone through his, which is a hickey. Like, why would you...
Are you kidding?
He's got a hickey.
Oh, that's amazing. Love bite
that's his first.
It must be his first girlfriend.
It's never looked cooler than when he actually scored that goal. It was a draw which felt like a win. They'll avoid Argentina in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, that is a win.
In a Mexico-friendly crowd in Santa Clara, California, instead of Foxborough, Massachusetts. And most importantly for Mexico, they won't play the US until the finals.
Snap him up, Manchester United. Snap him up. Get that guy. He'll get some goals for you. So that would mean that the USA will avoid Argentina potentially.
Oh no, the USA will beat Argentina in the semi-finals. Now on the way to beating Mexico in the finals. Another huge attendance last night. Nearly 70,000. Tournament that is purpose-made for Mexico. It's pretty clear. Paid for by Univision. We're all just beneficiaries of their kindness. But enough with the Copa. We've got a guest wandering out. I can smell fantastic chicken. Here
Rooney,
my man.
Rooney.
Oh, we want to go deep on Nordic. You've got to put your headphones on so the world can hear you.
You love Iceland.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Almost as much as I love your chicken. Let me introduce you while you're getting those on.
Yeah.
This is chef, restaurateur, TV host, gorgeous man. The author, Marcus Samuelsson, a man who's Ethiopia-born, Sweden-raised, Harlem-learned, proprietor of Red Rooster, my favourite restaurant, Street Bird, massive Arsenal fan. There's Latana chefs, and one of the only, I would say, active midfielders in New York pickup games who have earned a New York Times 3-star review.
Quality.
Welcome.
Listen, don't talk about Jack Wilshere like
Marcus.
that.
Oh, come on. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because he's going to get injured. He's going to get injured. It doesn't matter.
You know,
Him and Sturridge.
I thought Rooney was really good in the deep role the other day. It was fun. It was good.
I think he's fantastic too. The thing about Rooney is obviously he's losing his legs a little bit. He's still a quality player. And he's such a fantastic passer for Manchester United and England. I think that he's also one of the elderly statesmen now for the team. So you've got to drop him back so that he can compose the team around him. I think Rooney potentially could have his best major competition this year.
You know, I think they should change the team, though. I think Stone's got to get in there, and I think Dyer is the best defender out of all of them.
Right? I mean,
Dyer's the best everything.
Fantastic.
I like John Stones a
Can
lot.
I say, Dyer, no, you're a crazy man. And
you're an Everton fan.
After we finish this, I'm going to actually hold a bidding war between two of you because you both love John Stones. I'm going to do a deal on behalf of Everton for both of you. But I want to talk to you, Marcus.
Yeah.
We love you for so many reasons. I love this quote because I feel like you can cover half the teams for us in the Copa and in the Euros. Your sister, half Jamaican.
Yeah. Sturridge.
Half Swedish.
Ibrahimovic.
You said my other sister, Ethiopian.
Yes.
Your cousin, Korean.
Yes.
And your auntie is Jewish. Essentially, you can cover 65% of the teams that are in these two tournaments.
In the Copa Euro.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
God love you. When I think of Sweden, I think of Bjorn Borg. I think of first aid kit. Think of Ingmar Bergman.
love first aid kit.
Who doesn't?
Yes.
Everyone watching adores all of those guys.
Kent.
But I love your quote. Just
What
like any other Swede, I was born in Ethiopia. You remind me, Zlatan, half Croatian, half Bosnian.
Yeah.
You are the new Sweden.
Well, he's definitely sort of taken that to the showing Sweden what Sweden could be in terms of. We had a lot of foreigners that were really talented, but they never got on the national team. And Zlatan and Henke Larsson was really the first two that really changed Swedish national team, you know, in terms of skill level and so on.
He is a self-proclaimed Swedish god.
He is, definitely.
How do you feel about him? Because today is the day in which the 34-year-old Swedish striker, Sky Sports Breaking News, has reportedly agreed to terms with, and for those of you who don't know, a mid-level English Premier League team called Manchester United. He's having a medical after 2019.
Filling out that Manchester United shit with his big back. Come on.
I'm going to ask you in 1 second how you feel as a man. How do you feel as a Swede about this?
You know what? Zlatan is our hero, right? And the fact that he went to Manchester United, he should have gone to Arsenal.
Oh, come on.
Because, Mourinho will probably do something weird to him. Like, Mourinho's been the worst over the last 2 years. Think about it. Lukaku, he kicked him out. Yep. Kevin De Bruyne, he kicked him out. Filippo Luis, he kicked him out. So I don't think Zlatan and Mourinho, Zlatan 34 and Mourinho, I don't think it's a good combo.
Well, but he does love Zlatan, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
he does.
historically, he's loved him throughout his career.
Yeah.
My whole thing with Zlatan is that I don't think he has a huge amount of time left in his career. I think he wants to prove something. I think he might want to win a Premier League title.
1 year, right?
1 year, maybe.
Yeah.
I think they keep giving him 1 year.
34 years of age, 17-year career, arriving at Manchester United, a team that need many things. I can imagine if I'm in the commercial department. If I'm in the commercial department of Manchester United, I'm like, yes.
Yeah. He's selling shirts.
If I'm the manager, how am I? If I'm a big fan tactically on the field, am I like, yeah, we needed that.
I'm all about it.
So
me and my best friend have gone backwards and forwards about this because he's like, I don't think he fits into the Manchester United ethos.
He does.
I'm not sure if he's a good signing for us. And I keep saying, look, it's going to be a year, maybe two. He's going to try and prove himself in the Premier League. He physically can deal with it, I think. I think he'll score a bunch of goals for us. I just want that shirt, the shirt with the name that is so big that it hangs off the side of your shoulders. Ibrahimovic.
So how much do you think he was going to start? Do you think Rashford was hamper Rashford a little bit, or do you think what's going to happen?
I don't think he's going to push Anthony Martial out of the team because he's arguably been our
best
greatest
player
new signing. I think probably he will put Rashford on the bench. Yeah. But that's not the worst thing in the world. I think Rashford could learn a lot from him in training.
Mourinho sees Rashford possibly as being a ball boy next season. I've got to ask you about Sweden.
I'm so sad about Juan Mata potentially leaving Manchester.
Everyone.
Because he is my double, facial and body-wise.
Yes. Maybe he can double up with you for Dom's wild thing, because he's not going to be a Manchester United player.
Where will he go? You think he'll go to the continent?
Where every great Manchester United player that is discarded as a reject goes, we will take you, we love you.
We love it.
Juan Mata, you are like an adorable penguin, a dancing tap dancing
you did it to
Pogba,
you did it to
Piqué.
Let me take you here, Sweden, I need to ask you. to me, they just seem to be happy to qualify for tournaments. They're like a second cousin at bar mitzvah. They're just happy to have been invited. I do love the Swedish fans, though. I mean, they feel in a Euro, which frankly has been dark, and I fear will get darker. Swedish fans last night dancing with the Irish fans, playing Dancing Queen, singing along together.
Yeah.
What is it that drives Swedish fans as opposed to the average, let's say, Russian fan? What is propelling them?
Well, first of all, it's a big party, and this year time around, it's Zlatan. Everyone knows this might be the last big one for Zlatan, right? He maybe will go to the Olympics, or I don't think he has another World Cup in him, right? So everyone knows that this is the last one. Zlatan's been giving us what, 6? He's been going to the big tournament 6 or 7 times, which no other big players have done in Sweden. So this is a big deal. You're watching Zlatan for the last time, and you know what? We never think we're gonna win. We wish we had a little more like Iceland, actually, that attitude.
Yeah,
but
1958, you came out so close.
Yeah, very close. But also, 10 years ago, we had a bit more balanced team with Mellberg, with Henrik, and Freddie and Zlatan.
You're going to say Mel Brooks, then I was excited.
Freddie Youngberg, who had some of the greatest haircuts. He had some of the greatest haircuts ever at Arsenal.
He
did that he did that crazy red Fraggle Rock
Yeah.
haircut. Fantastic.
No, so our team is not balanced enough. But the young ones, the U21 ones, they won the Euro for the 21s last time around. So we really believe in the next generation.
I love it. You got at least 20 more years of disappointment in you.
I lived in Sweden a couple of years, about a year and a half ago now, in Stockholm, in a place called Vasastan. The friendliest people, the safest place to live. Everyone was so nice. They like a drink, they like to party, they like to enjoy the weekend. There's no fighting, there's no violence. Food's great, they eat a lot of meat.
And the Premiership is really our league. Every Saturday, every Sunday, every Swede watches the Premiership.
Beautiful ladies, and to be fair, beautiful men everywhere. It's a little harder to recognise the beautiful men, but they were around.
Marcus, you live in Harlem.
Yeah.
You've invested in Harlem with your business. US Soccer, one of its challenges is to become less suburban, more urban.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you, do you see like football, anything to do with football permeating the streets around Red Rooster?
Absolutely. I just took actually FC Harlem. I took the kids, 25 kids, to watch the game and to meet the team and to watch NYCFC. And I think that FC Harlem is a great example of taking inner city kids, activating them in soccer, because if you're gonna find the best sports stars, they're not gonna come from the suburban most likely. You got to get inner city kids that are now playing basketball to say, hey, we want to play soccer, right? That's really it's gonna be, I think. There might be a Latin kid, there might be a young African-American kid, there might be a suburban kid as well, but I think it's got to have to come from the inner cities.
I've got another question for you, 2 hard-hitting ones. Actually, this one from @Bryce Kirschenbaum. Celebrity chef starting 11, Michael Simon or Tom Colicchio in goal?
Michael, I will take Michael there.
Why?
No, Michael would do a better job. He's more competitive than Tom.
Batelli obviously in the Yaya role in the middle. Guy Fieri, Memphis Depay, or possibly Samir Nasri. Julia Childs, your 20-goal-a-season striker.
Yeah. Ramsey, you got to have a Gordon Ramsay in there somewhere.
Yeah,
he's a quality football player.
Gordon would probably be left fullback or something like that.
Yeah, he's quality.
Paul Ladine is John Terry. How are you a chef?
Do we know if Gordon was good or not?
He played for Rangers.
Well.
And I think he played.
Actually, this is pre-Instagram. Do we actually know this?
Well, he definitely did play. He definitely did play for Rangers, and he got injured. I've seen him play a couple of soccer games. It's charitable.
Last question for you. How are you a chef, yet so skinny? I'm asking for a fat friend.
We play a lot of soccer. You know what's happening in Chinatown every Saturday. Yeah. It's the big tournament, and we rival each other. We have a lot of fun.
You're in midfield.
What's your position?
In the central midfield.
Who would you most compare yourself to as a professional?
Makelele.
Oh, Makelele.
Yeah.
What about you?
Me? I am probably the Yaya Toure.
Yeah.
Are you really? You're the hard man. Yeah. You're the tough hard man.
I'm faster than I think I am.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm slower than I think I am. I
can't quite tell from outside the box.
We're going to get the chicken wings in. As we get the chicken wings in, we're going to predict the games. I'm going to ask you the great taste of democracy. What is the secret to a great meatball, Marcus?
Oh, you got to have the fat pork. You got to have some fat. Oh. Don't make a lean meatball. No one's going to say, oh, that was a really nice lean meatball. You got to have the pork.
You've got the I'm not sure.
I've got the garnish. I've got the carrots and the celery because I'm a vegetarian.
Have you guys picked to win in the Copa? Have you decided who's going to win?
Well, we're going to work a little bit on that right now. Tonight, Chile play Panama 8 p.m. from Philadelphia. Argentina play Bolivia in Seattle. We're going to eat these chicken wings and predict the future and tell you what happens with them. Thank you, Union. UBK. Those are fantastic.
I love a good carrot, mate. I love a good carrot.
Vegetarian, gone with a carrot mix.
This year. Only this year.
Yeah.
Next year I might start eating fish.
I love you. Puffin is very good. Argentina, Bolivia. What do you think, gentlemen, tonight? Can I get what did the carrot say to you?
Well, for me, I'm never going to be able to write off the greatest player in the world, Lionel Messi. I'm going to say Argentina 2-0, Lionel Messi with a brace.
It's going to be very hard. He's probably not going to play. I've got a feeling they're not going to have him. Yeah, rumoured to be out. They're still saying he possibly will play to get you there to Seattle, as is Angel Di Maria. But what score?
In that case,
we're going to
ignore
score
me.
prediction.
I think Argentina will win 3-0. I think Messi's going to be on the bench.
Yeah.
He's going to come in the last 20. Are we still? What's the conversation here? Maradona or Messi? Which one was a better one?
I mean, for me,
Diego.
it's a tough one. No, it's not Messi.
For
because,
me,
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
Get
Ross.
there.
I'm very passionate about this. Maradona, again, like Ronaldo, it's a football player that has incredible gifts, but in some way you can understand how they have those gifts. Messi's an enigma. He's a genius. He's a wizard. He's from a
But
different planet.
Maradona won it though. He took them there, right?
Hey, if Messi doesn't win a major competition, I have to go Maradona.
For me, given the choice between Maradona and Messi, I take Gordon Ramsay every single time. I've got to tell you, these chicken wings tell me 1-0 to Argentina.
I love
no
it.
Messi, no Di Maria. It'll be Mascherano with a header of a set piece, and no one will really give a crap. They're not going to try too hard tonight. We are back. We say thank you to this gentleman. If you are in New York City, please go to Street Bird.
Amazing
It's my happy
food. We
place.
just ate some.
It's my
Amazing.
happy place
Yes.
in New York City. I absolutely
And it's
adore.
good for you as
Thank
well.
you.
I love
It
that.
is.
I love that it's good for you.
And we have carrots.
It's food from a restaurant that's good for you.
We are going to be back tomorrow at 5 o'clock. Yes! We're going to be back. It is going to be gorgeous. We have a lot more, all of it brewing up to a massive day on Thursday for America and for us. We're going to be broadcasting all day, mixture of Facebook Live and an 11:30 show post-American victory on Vice Sports. We say to you, Dom, you're a gorgeous man.
Rooney!
Marcus, stay strong with
Yes.
Sweden. God bless you.
Ibra to United. Ibra to
Courage.
United.
That's a tough one. That's tough for me.